Hi.
Hi. Starting with a bang.
Hi. Sam, it's so nice to see you. Welcome everyone to Okcoin Live.
Yeah.
We are still working out all the kinks and all the little technical difficulties and surprises, but I think we're getting the hang of it.
Yeah.
I'm Alina, and I am the video lead at Okcoin, which means that I create a lot of the video content, and I get to work with people all around the world, as you'll see today in this episode, and I get to work a lot with Sam, who is my co-host for today. Hi, Sam.
Hi. How's it going? We're actually going to do a nice little kickoff so we can have editing magic after this. We're going to have our countdown in a little bit. But yeah, it's a great day. We're going for all-time highs. It looks like there's a Bitcoin ETF that's going to be approved. I'm holding my mic this week because I'm in the midst of packing, and it's a mess. Like outside of the vision here, the scope of the camera, it's just a bombshell. So yeah. I lost the thing that holds the mic. So
I'm glad you didn't lose the mic itself, though. I feel like that would have been worse. But
I would have been using the terrible camera mic. So.
Yeah. Totally. Well, I'm glad you have your priorities straight. This little corner of your house looks camera ready. That's the most important thing.
Exactly. Okay, so I think we're getting right close to 3 o'clock. So a couple more seconds, and we'll tick over to 3 o'clock, and then I'm going to start the show. So I am pretty excited for today. I mean, we've got some huge news. You're going to talk about your trip, which you just took, and about how Bitcoin is impacting the world at a broader scale, and about how people are using it in their day-to-day lives, which is pretty amazing. And so, yeah, let's kick this off. I think we're right here at 3, so I'm going to start the countdown, and then we'll begin the show.
Let's do it.
All right, welcome back. Okay, or welcome. I'm Sam. I'm the host of Okcoin Live, and today I've got a wonderful guest. I'm joined by Alina. Welcome.
Yes. Hi, Sam. I am the video lead at Okcoin Live and at Okcoin. But today I'm co-hosting with Sam, and I'm very, very excited to be here. So thank you for letting me into your little corner of Okcoin.
Yeah, it's fun, and we actually have some super cool stuff. So today the show is about you. Well, it's not about you, but it's about your travels and down to El Salvador. You took a trip down there to go get some amazing video and talk to some of the people who are using Bitcoin in their day-to-day lives, and talk to people about the I guess the adoption of Bitcoin in the El Salvadorian economy. So we actually have 2 awesome guests on today who we'll get to in a second, but let's just talk about Okcoin for a second. So Okcoin is one of the largest and oldest U.S. exchanges. Well, we're a U.S.-based exchange. It's a great company. Actually, let me go on. We were talking. We had our AMA with our CEO today, and
yes,
we're like hiring like mad. So I don't need to tell you that we're a great cryptocurrency exchange, because we are. You guys should know that if you're tuning in. But we are just hiring as fast as possible right now, and we need the most amazing people to join. One thing that I can say about Okcoin is that the culture is unlike any other company I've worked with before. Everyone is great. Everyone's voices is heard. You really feel like you're making a difference and an impact on day to day. So please go check out our careers page. If you know somebody, we'd love to have you here. And also come,
To add to that, I've worked at companies before where people who wanted to pivot or change or learn something new, it wasn't as supported and advocated for. And I'd say Okcoin really stands out in encouraging people's interests and really giving everyone a voice to be heard at the company and in the broader crypto community. So I think it's very unique in that way.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you agree?
Well, yeah. I mean, my own story is I came on the product team.
Yep.
And I worked there for a year. I was working on UX writing, and worked on the mobile app, worked on the earn page, worked on a bunch of different products. But then eventually, I had a different calling, which was to come and start doing some of these externally focused events that we're having, like Okcoin Live, and also our Twitter Spaces. And I had full support from management to move over.
There you go. And when showbiz calls, you have to answer the call.
Exactly.
You have to do it. You have to pursue your passion, your intense passion, and merge that with your skill. And together you get this Okcoin Live.
Yeah. So it's a great company, and we want you to come, and we want you to join. We want you to be here for the next wave of cryptocurrency adoption. So speaking of the next wave of cryptocurrency adoption, we have two really awesome guests that we're bringing on today. Lena, since you were the one who went down to El Salvador and you kind of put this show together, I'm going to let you do the introductions.
Okay, wonderful. So today we have...
Actually, who should we bring on first?
I think maybe Enrique. Let's talk about Enrique.
Okay,
and then,
let's bring on Enrique.
There he is, Enrique.
Hey,
hi.
Enrique, hey. How you doing?
Enrique,
how are you doing today?
We are so great. We're even better now that you're on with us.
Nice.
Enrique is he is a dentist by training, but he's also a comedian of sorts, and he's lived many lives. He trained to be a radio DJ in San Salvador before pivoting. I guess pivoting is a theme for today, Sam. Honestly, like pivoting careers, rebirth, having many lives is kind of a theme, and I like it. I'm going to stick with it and see where it takes us. But Enrique, we're so excited to have you on. You are the mastermind behind Bitcoin Smiles, and you have given such a gift to your community in El Zonte, and we want to hear all about that. So welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Well, nice to meet you, Sam. Nice to see you again, Elena. Greetings from the country of the smile, El Salvador, but nowadays it's the country of Bitcoin Smiles. So it's a wonderful initiative. We are so excited, and I'm thankful and grateful for you to having me in your Okcoin live show. And for sure, I want to thank as well for you to be platinum donors of our initiative.
Yes, we're honored to support you and the initiative, and there couldn't be a better cause. And Sam, that reminds me, maybe you should mention the Twitter thing and what we have running.
Oh, right. Actually, I think you should probably do it. Well, I can do it. So, well, we're going to donate today to Bitcoin Smiles. So everybody that it's a retweet, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So anybody that retweets the Twitter post that we have for donating to Bitcoin Smiles, we're going to make a $1 donation for everybody that does it. So yes. Yeah. So get out there and smash that retweet button.
Yes, up to $10,000. Don't go nuts, but go nuts.
Yeah.
And then let's bring on our next guest too, because he was instrumental in creating Bitcoin Smiles, and he made it all possible. So let's bring him on. Hi, Pavlenex.
Hello, guys. Great to be again part of the Okcoin live stream. Actually, I was in a podcast last time, so.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. Thanks for having me.
Well, Pavlenex, really, video stream, podcast, you look the same in both. So it's really similar.
and sound the same.
So. And sound the same. At least you're consistent. You're consistent. So tell me a little bit about how Bitcoin Smiles came about, both of you, and how you started this initiative and how you met, because I want to know this story too.
Sure, I can probably tell you the origins of the Bitcoin Smiles. So I guess 4 months ago, I was on a holiday, and for those of you who don't know me, I am the core contributor to the BTC Pay server, which is open source Bitcoin payment processor. And with all the adoption happening in El Salvador, I really wanted to learn a little bit more from El Salvadorians directly. So I tweeted, any good initiative, it started as a tweet. So I basically just wrote, hey, if you're from El Salvador, can you please talk to me? Can I have like a few minutes of your time? And then I started talking to people from El Salvador. And that's how I met Enrique. And we started chatting about life, about how Bitcoin is adopted in El Salvador, how things work there. And simply I asked him, what do you do? And he started telling me his personal story, the stories of his patients, how he's, trying to stay there. He will tell you later his background, so I won't spoiler things. But and then I simply asked him, well, what can we do to help? How can I help you? And that's when we started this. It was an idea, basically. Let's do a crowdfunding, because earlier with BTC Pay server, we do crowdfundings once a year. We did one with Hodlnaut, the Space Cat on Bitcoin Twitter, and also we did one for the Tor project. And this was like the third one for us, and it was one of the most successful ones. So that's how the idea started. Then we gathered a team. I involved the contributors from both BTC Pay server and Bitcoin Design. And we started, created a page with BTC Pay server, and then it simply blew from there, all over the Bitcoin Twitter and all over the community. So that's how it started.
So Enrique, how did you feel when someone from halfway across the world contacted you and wanted to know about Bitcoin, about El Salvador? What did you think?
Wow, it was incredible, And first of all, I do have to say that Bitcoin and the world, it's excited, it's proud, and it's delighted to have a human being as Pavlenex. He's supporting everything, and I do appreciate a person from the other side of the world doing something and putting his skill set in aid to humanity. So it was exciting at the time. It was unbelievable, sometimes you wish things so hard that it becomes a reality, and this reality, it's everything, in the name of the community, in the name of the people that needs the most, it was incredible the way we were involved in this initiative. So thank you for the crew as well, and the people who were supporting us and backing Pavlenex as well. So for me, it's like a dream come true. Sometimes you wish having, in this case, good skills, equipment, resources, materials, and besides that, the willingness or the personality to serve, because here we are to serve people, So it was like a dream come true, and spontaneously we became in a globally known initiative thanks to these people as well. So we've been heard.
Enrique, you must have wished pretty hard. How hard did you wish?
Well, through all my life, I've been taught personally in my personal growth, in my evolution as a human being, and my education from my family. They taught me, they implant me to dream, to dream whatever I want to become whatever I want in my life, to believe in myself, to nurture myself. So even if there is a lot of obstacles, even if we have lack of things in our life, we will prevail. So from that, I just wish, dream, and try to create whatever it's on my reach. So I wish so hard to do something for my community, to do something for the human beings, and etc. So I wish so hard that now it's a reality.
You did.
It
You did a great job.
and that's the way we are working right now. It's like wish come true. Um, and we will continue this, not a dream, but this reality till the end of our lives, and beyond. So it's like a miracle. They are like being our partners in an immaculate way.
Oh, well, listen, we, Okcoin sent me and our wonderful director, Ryan, down to visit you, Enrique, and spend some time with you in the El Zonte community and see firsthand how Bitcoin is being used by the residents there. So we have a world premiere, and if it's ready to
Oh, wow.
premiere, Sam, we want to premiere our video that we shot there, starring Enrique.
Yeah, I think we need one more second for some technical issues, but we'll come back in a minute.
Okay. So we're getting some comments. Enrique, you're causing quite a stir. Boom Crypto says, no dreams, no life, which is very true, I think. You have to dream big. I think anyone that works in crypto and anyone that is following it, it all seems like a dream. Don't you think, Pavlenex? Like, it's kind of crazy. We couldn't have imagined this.
I've been living this dream for 4 or 5 years now, being involved in the open source project and simply being involved with the community. So yeah, I agree. It's all happening very fast.
So how crazy is it that El Salvador is obviously the first country that enacted Bitcoin as legal tender? Did we think that it would be El Salvador of all places? Honestly, if you had to pick any country in the world, it wasn't a big world economy. It was El Salvador. So what do you think the reasons are for that?
Well, I guess I never expected any country to adopt Bitcoin, to be honest. When we started, it was all like, just a small community of people. At least that's what is still in my view. But I guess, lots of smart people were around the politicians in El Salvador, people like Jack Mallers and others who were able to make this true. So I guess it is all, at the end of the day, about the people you surround yourself with and type of information and education you get. So if you as a politician surround yourself with smart people, and this is how things go. It all goes up, it all goes in a good way. So good role model for other countries as well.
Yeah, we have to get governments on board in order to spread it to other countries. Go ahead, Sam.
I just want to know, like, what some of the issues were with making payments before the implementation of Bitcoin in El Salvador. Like, how would you work with dollars? Was everybody transacting in cash? Like, could you make electronic payments with dollars? Because I'm sure this is where a lot of the issues would stem from.
Is it for me or Pat?
Oh, I mean, either person who wants to comment on it.
Oh, for sure. We have the dollar currency since 2001. It's supposed to have a bimonetarism, two currencies, the colon, that it's used to be our currency, and the dollar. For sure, there is a banking system that it's providing some services that you could pay with electronic dollars with your bank account, for sure. But before a Bitcoin, it used to be just dollars, So after that, we could see like the use of Lightning. It's growing at a fast pace, real fast in the implementation of Bitcoin here in the country, for example. It's playing a huge role in the daily life of using Bitcoin. And for sure, if you donate to the initiative, you could like check at first hand the example of how the Lightning Network it's working. You could do payments globally wherever you are for a few cents or mostly nothing, straight to your phone or straight to whatever you want, your account, your wallet, So right now we are about maybe 2 months or almost 2 months to get like the Bitcoin as a legal tender, But before that, we didn't know too much about it, As a country, personally, I just met Bitcoin in 2014 in San Francisco, for example. But right now, people, it's like getting on board, and see like the benefits of Bitcoin, not as a legal tender, but as a tool to change humanity, and even
Yeah.
change your reality.
Well, I guess my question is that like, how would people make electronic payments before the Bitcoin was introduced?
Um, Credit cards, debit cards,
Mhm.
electronic banking system, but mostly 35% of the population here in El Salvador have a bank account. The
Right.
others doesn't, so it's just like on a small percentage of the whole population. Normally, the dollar. And in a country like ours, you have or you need the paper, you need the cash
Cash.
in a daily life, in every place, for transportation, for your food, everything. So it's like people prefer to feel, the
Yeah.
cash in their pockets instead of having an electronic. It has to be tangible for them,
Yeah.
to
Of course.
see. Oh yeah, I have money.
Yeah.
Sam, should we show everyone what we're talking about and alluding to? We're going to have a world premiere here and show Enrique in action.
That's great.
Wow.
Yes. I think we're all ready now. Everything is processed, and let's
Great. Let's do
debut
it.
this. Let's see this.
I am Enrique Berrios. I am the doctor of dental surgery here in El Zonte, El Salvador. Bitcoin Smiles, it's an initiative to help impoverished communities here in El Zonte. It's about serving people and giving them some confidence and dignity. But then the pandemic came, so we were like shut down in our jobs. We have limited transportation, and in that moment, in this community, started a circular economy based on Bitcoin. This is, for example, Adrian's model, that it was our first patient paid in Bitcoin, In other parts, it's just another platform to get goods and services. But here it's like mainly in a daily basis. It's a global idea, it's a global project, but we are trying to act locally, developing our area. In this case, Bitcoin is helping us to change humanity.
I am Satoshi.
Oh, that was cool.
So this is part of our, this is, yes, get all your reactions. I don't hear Pav saying anything, but I'm sure he's excited too. It's part of our new series, I Am Satoshi. And with this series, we are hoping to profile just our customers and also people all over the world who are using crypto and benefiting from Bitcoin, Ethereum, and everything in between. So we're very, very excited, and we're going to keep doing this. And we want to travel and just show, we just want to show what's happening out there thanks to this amazing revolution. So, yes, go ahead, Sam.
Actually, maybe I can ask you a couple of questions, Alina. So, how long you went down to El Salvador for quite a while, right?
Yes, my husband will tell you it was like 6 months, but it was actually 5 days. It takes quite a bit of time to get there, and we were in the country for 3 days, and we were able to see so much. Thanks to Enrique, he showed us the ropes. El Zonte is a very small beach community, and they are really pioneering using Bitcoin for everyday goods and services. And I don't know, Pav, when you were down there, you went to El Salvador, right?
No, I am the child of the internet. I visit the world by connecting with people and traveling through the internet. So I haven't, but
it sounds like
I do plan to go.
A very safe way, a very inexpensive way to travel. I'll give you that. But El Salvador, it's a very, very interesting place, in that I never thought in my lifetime I would see people transacting in Bitcoin. Here in the US, it's a lot of, hodling. But there, we saw Enrique use it to pay for pupusas. We saw him use it to pay for a haircut, and we saw others come in and just pull out their phone and do it. So I feel like this is something that it really touched me, to see this, and it left a lasting impression. It showed me what it could be. And I think the most impactful thing, and Enrique, I want you to talk about this a little bit more, but Enrique said that before, a lot of Salvadorans were thinking about the American dream. They thought that it's only possible to be successful in America. But now, thanks to Bitcoin, people are seeing their Bitcoin grow. They're thinking about saving money, and they're thinking about the Salvadoran dream, which is that is life-changing and magical. So I'd love to hear more about that, Enrique.
Well, yeah, it's true, but the thing is that Bitcoin has come to unite people, to provide them access to goods and services, providing them not with a bank account, but with the sovereignty of having the power to do what they want with their money. We are in the middle of a struggling community, a struggling country, but we have really strong people. And if you give them or provide them with a tool, in this case with Bitcoin, you give them many possibilities to do or to create, to dream, and to make it a reality. But the thing is that we need to show people that we could be inclusive, in any way of our lives, So if we have a good education, if we are like having access to how to manage these things, this technology, and really believe that it could like change or provide us to a life-changing situation, I think it's the best opportunity we have in the history, not just for the country, but the humanity, in create things that it's going to help everyone in the world, rich and poor, many countries globally. Maybe it's that crazy that I could think this is going to be an interplanetary thing,
Wow.
So it's beyond
That's quite a theory.
our community, So the thing is trying to impact locally with a tool that it's created by everyone.
Pav, I want to ask you, I'm originally from Eastern Europe. You're in Eastern Europe. What are the attitudes there around Bitcoin and crypto in general?
Well, coming from a country where just a few years ago we didn't really have developed financial infrastructure, like where I live, I believe we received PayPal came here in 2015 or 16, something like that. I think it was native for most people, and also like where I'm from, we had hyperinflation back in the 90s. So Bitcoin is easily accepted and understood by people who've been through the struggles of either censorship or experienced a financial struggle, such as inflation. So I think people here understand Bitcoin way easier than people in the countries who don't have bad financial systems. So here, adoption isn't as good as it is in El Salvador, but there are people who are usually mining, as far as I know, and there are like a lot of communities, smaller ones. But Bitcoin only communities, there aren't as many, from what I know.
See, I think that's a very interesting point about people who have lived through hyperinflation and who have lived through dictatorships and other regimes where the financial system completely collapses. El Salvador had civil war like 20 years ago. So I think that those people are more inclined to sort of adopt this philosophy. I think in America, people can't really imagine it all falling apart here in the US as easily as someone, like when my family immigrated, we lost everything because the government wouldn't let us take any money out of the country. So when you're impacted by that, and if I had just had a wallet and I knew the key, I could have walked across that border and no government can stop you from bringing your money into another place. So that's ultimate freedom to me.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest innovations has just been the growth and the I guess the user interface implementation of Lightning Network, right? So when Bitcoin was started many years back, we didn't have an easy. I mean, you would use your Bitcoin as normal, but as transaction fees got higher and the price got higher, it became harder for people to do micropayments. And so, just in the past couple of years with the Lightning Network, we finally now have a kind of a bedrock payment system that people can use Bitcoin in their daily lives to pay for, like to pay for dentistry, to pay for pupusas, like you were saying. And this is something that is very important, and is something that like we at Okcoin have supported really from the very beginning. We were one of the first exchanges to provide Lightning Network withdrawals, and we really see the importance of the growth of the Lightning Network and its kind of broader effect on the world at large.
The Lightning Network is really revolutionary, and I cannot even communicate to you guys just the joy it brought me. Enrique took us to Mama Rosa's pupuseria, which her son Jorge works with the Bitcoin Beach initiative, and they're the ones who brought Bitcoin to the community. And we met them, and they were great. So Mama Rosa was the first vendor in El Zonte to accept Bitcoin as payment for pupusas. And during the pandemic, Enrique, you were telling me that she sort of became kind of like a general store. And as people were getting paid in Bitcoin and they had Bitcoin, they could kind of go down there and buy what they needed because she accepted it. And she's such a force. And I saw a lot of really strong women when I was down there that knew about Bitcoin, that were educated in Bitcoin, more so than, a lot of people here. It was very, very, I think, impactful for me to see it day to day. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's true. These people came just, it's a saying, from the ground. They create their own path in
Yeah.
a struggling society, to have what they have. While the pandemic, we have a lack of transportation. The transportation were blocked. You need to remain in your house or in your place. It's like having curfews as well. It used to be like the war style we have 20 years ago. But the thing is, people doesn't they weren't allowed to work. They weren't allowed to do what they want to survive. They weren't allowed to transportation to another place. In that case, the community started to get or to receive small donations on the wallet of every family, the family of the community. In the way they were having these small donations to exchange it for food or services in the store, the people started to be educated in the use of a lightning wallet in this case. A lightning wallet was created specifically for the community, and it was uh, to interchange or to exchange the Bitcoin for services with no fees. In that way, for these small donations during the pandemic, it became a circular economy in the community, so everyone spread the word, having that financial like donation. It was like a good thing for them. We struggle in that moment. In my case, I was 8 months without working, so it was like a pretty hard time, but in this case, Bitcoin save us, for example, to get a meal, or to get something, a basic need you need, from other places or here in the community. So in that moment, Bitcoin was our light, you know, in all this like shade time or shady time, I don't know. I don't know if I'm explaining myself in a good
No,
way,
the
but
pandemic was definitely a shady time, I think,
yeah,
for everyone. I think everyone can agree it was very, very shady. Pav, I have a question about how do you think that Bitcoin is going to change charitable ventures? Because it is so easy to send Bitcoin across borders. It's possible to fund charities that otherwise it would be very, very hard to figure out what platform to use to send money to charity without paying crazy fees. Can you talk a little bit about where you think that's headed, what the future of charitable donations is with Bitcoin?
Yeah, sure. So first of all, Bitcoin, we all talk like Bitcoin UX, we need to fix it. It doesn't work. It needs to be easier. But it is way easier than most of things are. Like to donate with Bitcoin, you do not need to provide any sort of private information. A person who you are donating to does not need a custodian. They don't need anybody safeguarding them and having like a trusted third party who would block a transaction. So I do believe that it is already very easy to kickstart your initiative and get it founded with Bitcoin. Like if you're using something like BTC based server, you just need to deploy your own server, and there is an app which you can deploy, and that's how we basically kickstarted the Bitcoin Smiles website in less than 15 minutes. The biggest challenge was just to add text and images. Entire infrastructure is already available, and it is very easy to fund your next idea, charity, or whatever.
Yeah, could you go through like the timeline of like how long? I mean, you said 15 minutes, but did it actually take 15 minutes to get the site up? And or like, what was it? How long did it take to go from the idea to getting everything set up and deployed to raising, your first few sats?
Sure. Technically, it really is 15 minutes to get the website up because BTC Pay server is already a web server. So it is just like If you're using WordPress, it's like writing a WordPress blog post. Really,
Yeah.
it is as easy as that. But in the entire effort took a few weeks because we had to figure out the patients, who are we going to treat. Then we had to figure out how are we going to fund this initiative. Do we seek for corporate support or do we focus on individuals or both? Then we, of course, copywriting, images, and all of that. So technically, it was like 15 minutes, but the entire process was probably like 2 or 3 weeks, maybe. I think it was 2 weeks. I remember the first meeting was maybe, yeah, it has to be 2 weeks with everything. So we'll launch really in 2 weeks.
That's pretty amazing. And then how long after that did it take you to meet your funding goal?
That's a good question. Enrique, do you maybe know? I think
Yeah, it was maybe 2 weeks. 2 weeks later.
Oh, wow.
We started on August the 17th, if I remember good. And 2 weeks later, we get our soft cap goal. We have 1.7. 2 months later, and yeah, it's growing. So everyone, it's invited as well to continue donating for dentistry treatments in the Bitcoin Smiles initiative. BTC Pay Server and Bitcoin Design deploy a great job, and it's easy to donate or to contribute here from $5 to 1 Bitcoin if you feel like it, and for sure, an Okcoin as a platinum donor, it's supporting this initiative in a good way, so it's a wonderful thing.
Enrique, so
Yeah.
what was incredible is seeing you work on patients, because I got to see that, and then just seeing how their whole outlook changed. It's crazy. You gave someone dentures, and he had the biggest smile. So the name really holds true, because you have helped a lot of people gain confidence, and it's not just about teeth. It's really not about that. It just gives people their lives back. It was so touching. It was touching to watch. What was the experience like of us filming you? Do you want to give people a little like behind the scenes of what it was like to shoot with us? What did you think?
Sure. It's going to be wonderful, We are changing lives here. We are providing or bringing dignity and confidence to these people that during decades had nothing, Now they have a better purpose on life. They get better food. They chew better. They feel that they are full of energy, and they have the confidence as well. And for sure, in this age, right now, we are focused on elderly people. It's where you need it the most, to get something from what you do or what you give to life when you were productive, And it's like a wonderful initiative, providing them with dignity and confidence through oral rehabilitation. It's a life-changing situation.
So on the website, there was 1.69 BTC raised. That's just over $100,000. It seems pretty significant. I mean, how far will that go in providing dental care for the residents of El Zonte?
Well, El Zonte has 3,000 people. We are focused on elderly people right now. We have 50 to 60 patients are going to be rehabilitated with 1 Bitcoin. That it was our soft cap goal. Every patient has a budget. We are providing them with the best denture in the market you know.
Yeah.
But for sure, we have to do extractions to prepare them to get rehabilitated, and we are not charging anything. So we are just charging the dentures for the dental lab, but everything it's on us, you know. If we are going to provide 60 people, for example, but there it's going to be more. And El Sonte, it belongs to a municipality. The municipality has 11 more small villages like El Zonte, and it's approximately 12,000 people. So the goal is as well to get better equipment in order to work in remote areas. There are people that cannot get it or make it to the office, so we are going to work remotely. We, in our dream, it has to get a digital dental practice, you know, move from a conventional practice to a digital one, maybe scanners, digital design, CAD CAM in dentistry, you know. So we're going to improve equipment and equipment to work in remote areas, for example, but we are going to amplify our work and our rehabilitation to different villages and different municipalities. Actually, we have several volunteers that are enlisted to come to El Salvador on November and work with us helping these people. And for sure, we have donations in equipment and materials. And the dream it's so big that we want to this or to create or to make this in a huge example, not just for the country but the world, you know. And we're going to use the Bitcoin, the significant amount we have for the community, you know, and we are going to amplify for sure. The help.
Enrique, so speaking of November, our CEO Hong, she is going to be down in El Salvador, and she's going to be speaking at a couple of conferences down there. So we invite you to be our guest at these conferences if you're willing.
Wow. Well, thank you so much. It's going to be an honor to share with Mrs. Fang. I understand. So I'm really thankful and grateful for what is happening in our reality, in my life, and in order to channel all this energy and help for the people who need it the most. So it's going to be my pleasure. Welcome to El Salvador, Mrs. Fang. And you as well. And you, Sam.
Yeah, Sam, it's your turn. You have to experience it firsthand. So Sam, I think we have to wrap up.
I guess I think that for Pavlenex, I have one last question for you. Is that like working through this and deploying this for charity? Is this something that you're going to continue? Do you think that you'll continue to raise Bitcoin for other charitable efforts? And you know, it's really a great thing that you've done here with the deployment of this. You know, with how fast you did it and how much money you were able to raise for the community. So, great job in putting this together.
Yeah, that's a good question. Personally, I'm involved in quite a lot of projects already. My goal was to showcase people how once you remove the bureaucracy, friction, and give people freedom through Bitcoin, anybody, like the two guys around the internet, can join the efforts and basically change the lives of 60 to 100 and maybe even more, who knows, people. So to me, it was more about, I really need to continue developing this technology with my buddies from open source projects. That's what my goal is. But I'm just hoping that I can showcase to people what is really possible with this technology that we have. So my goal is to teach people to do it, and then they can just do it. I really personally would prefer to keep focused on, improving this technology based on their feedback, opposed to, teaming up with charities. If there is a charity out there who needs help, really feel free to reach out to BTC Pay Server community. We have a chat with over 2,000 people or 3,000 people at this point. Lots of people who are knowledgeable that can help you out. And just one more thing, I really wanted to give a shout out to the entire Bitcoin Smiles team, Zax, Alexa, and Patricia, and also Jones and Christoph, who were involved in making all of this happen through all sorts of helps, from design to development and stuff like that. So shout out to both all of these members from Bitcoin Smiles and BTC Pay Server community.
Yeah, I think it's such a heartwarming narrative to see, and something that's completely different from most Bitcoin narratives, where most other Bitcoin influencers or people who are supporting the community are just telling people to try to stack as many sats as possible. But here, you're actually using the properties of Bitcoin to raise money for a good cause and be able to transport that over, political boundaries and into the accounts and ledgers of the people that actually need it, so it could be used to make their lives better. So I love this. This is great. You've done some great work, both you and Enrique, with the work that you're doing with your dental work, and also Pavlenex as well too. I really appreciate that you're giving back to Bitcoin, really, and making it a tool for good. It's really incredible.
Yes, thank you so much to both of you. Thank you for taking the time and coming on, and continue the work that you're doing. And Pav, I think your dog desperately needs you. So with
No,
that,
I'm muted. It's not me.
whose dog needs them? Enrique, is that you?
Yeah, the dog is barking.
We met. Enrique shares space with 3 pit bulls.
Oh wow.
Yeah. We definitely interacted with them. Do you have any pets, Pav?
No, I don't. Though maybe I should get one.
Yes, I think so. Next time you come back, I expect that you would have adopted a pet. Okay, and with that,
whatever it is, it will be called Satoshi. So
you can get a Shiba Inu.
Is there any other name for a pet? I guess Lambo is a good name for a dog.
Yeah.
Maybe. Come here, Lambo.
All right. So I guess we can go to some final comments. Pavlenex, if you have anything else, you already talked about the team. Is there anything else you want to leave us with?
Yeah, I just want to thank you guys for inviting us, for supporting Bitcoin Smiles. If anybody here wants to support this great initiative, bitcoinsmiles.org. Whoever wants to learn more on how to accept Bitcoin payments, that's btcpayserver.org. And if you're a designer or developer wanting to learn about how you can design Bitcoin applications, that's Bitcoin Design. All of these 3 communities are free, open source, and yeah, thank you. That's all from me.
Great, thanks. And Enrique, let's talk to you.
Well, thank you guys for having me. Thank you to Bitcoin Smiles. If you want to donate, it's open, bitcoinsmiles.org. Thank you to BTC Pay Server and Bitcoin Design, and for sure, Okcoin as a platinum donor. Thank you so much, and you are welcome here with open arms in our beautiful country. Thank you so much.
And one last thing from me. We're very, very excited to keep traveling, real travel, not the kind of travel that Pav does virtually, but we will be real traveling and shooting people all over the world for our I Am Satoshi series. So if you have anyone that is doing amazing things with crypto and Bitcoin, please reach out to us and let us know. I don't know if we could top Enrique, but we could try. So thank you all.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I will.
Well, thank you, Enrique. Thank you, Pavlenex, for coming on. It's really incredible what you've done with Bitcoin Smiles, and I hope that the one Bitcoin is just on the way to raising a few $1 million for the community down there. It's pretty incredible that that people are making an impact with Bitcoin this way, and that that Bitcoin has been adopted in El Salvador and is being used on a daily basis, both with the Chivo wallet and then also Lightning Network. So thank you everybody at home for tuning in to another episode of Okcoin Live. I'm Sam, and thank you, Alina and Pavlenex and Enrique one last time. Thank you for coming on, and we'll see you guys again next Friday.